What's going on, guys? It's your boy New Sauce Hootis, aka your least favorite streamer's favorite streamer. And on today's episode of Once Human Tips and Tricks, I'm gonna be showing you one of the best routes you can take to get fully set up in your base as early as possible. The less time that you have to worry about base management, the more time you have to actually get out there, enjoy the game, start getting into this season. So I'm going to show you how to set up a base with 4 deviants gathering resources for you, an electric furnace, a solar generator, all that good stuff. You're going to forego a little bit of the story doing this run, but that's fine because you can go back after this and you can finish it then, and I promise it's going to be so much easier when you do. If you're following along with the guide, I'd say all of this should take you no more than 90 minutes to about 2.5 hours. So about an hour and a half, 2.5 hours. You're going to be pretty OP. You're not going to have to worry about many enemies for quite some time. And possibly the best part, you're just going to end up with a bunch of mid-game resources, materials, gear, all that good stuff. So come follow me and I'll show you step by step exactly what you need to do. But before we get in today's video, as always guys, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel so you never miss another video. If there's something you want to see, drop me a comment. Chances are I'll see it and we can probably make that happen. Also, tell your friends. They might like the content too. Anything like that really helps a channel like mine grow. So I appreciate the support, guys. Keep it up. All right, first off, all starts in the character creation. You want to make your character thick. You get an extra 15% melee damage and 100 kilogram carry capacity. What are we gonna name our character this time? How about Miss Thick Sauce? Yeah, that'll work. The password for the door is 0728, by the way. All right, so once you get your carriage, you're gonna check out our gear. If you notice, the test subject mask, top, and pants, with all 3 pieces from the set, you get 10% bonus melee damage on top of that 15% that we're getting from our character being a little bit thicker. You want to find a couple more pieces from, I believe it's the rustic gear set. You're going to want to loot everything.
They end up just like that.
If you see a crate, loot it. If you see any junk laying around, pick it up. So we got the rustic hat. Now, if you get 2 pieces from the set, you get an additional 15% melee damage. That's huge. And now we have the rustic shoes, so we also have that additional 15% melee damage. And make sure that you're clearing this place out, guys. All of that junk can be disassembled later on, and it's really going to help you out later. We're going to go down here. We're going to loot this chest as well. We're going to get some more canned lunch meat, some more boiled water. Now, what you can do right away if you want, you eat one of those lunch meats, and you can get that buff right away. Gear crate. Got the rustic gloves. All right. You're going to want to come in here and talk to Mitsuko first. There's 2 main things you're going to do in here. You're going to want to grab the butterfly out of the isolated securement unit. You can actually take 2 if you want. And you're going to loot this weapons crate. You get a rustic jacket, but you actually don't want to put that on because that'll get rid of your melee damage set bonus from the test subject. Okay. It's going to tell you to gather logs and gravel. We're going to collect logs in the traditional way. We're just going to cut these trees down, grab a few more than what it's telling you to. They're going to come in handy later. I'd say like 200 should be fine, 200-ish. So we have our logs, but we're not going to just gather gravel from the stones. We're going to get it from the copper ore. You're killing 2 birds with 1 stone this way. Not only are you getting gravel, but you're also getting copper ore, which is pretty important early on in the game. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. And the same thing with the logs. You're just going to gather more than it's telling you to. They will come in handy later. All right, it's going to tell you to build your base, set up camp. So we're going to build a campsite. It's going to ask you to craft a rustic crossbow. We're just going to go ahead and do that. While you're here, you could make a few boiled waters. just for the time being. That way you won't go thirsty. All right, we've got some water. We've got our crossbow. Now we're just gonna go ahead and move on to the boss. There is an ammo case that has 30 arrows in it. You're just gonna wanna pick those up right away. Now, what you guys might not know, this thing can't actually kill you. So we're just gonna go over there and we're gonna hack it to pieces. Yeah. This dude's doing plenty little melee damage. Yeah, you're already doing a ton of damage. You can just hack that thing to pieces. Okay, guys, so this next part is kind of important. You're gonna drop out of the sky after this cutscene, and we're gonna try and drop into a specific point. This spot is gonna allow you to pick up that Beaver deviant right away. You're not gonna be staying here for long, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. You're gonna drop out here. You're gonna open up your map.
Years after Starfall.
Here's Deadsville right here.
Infested with stardust. It looks like the monoliths here have been reactivated too.
You're actually gonna want to drop right to where this bridge is. Once again, Deadsville right here. You want to be facing that. There's your bridge. You're kind of gonna want to drop in somewhere over here. If it's a relatively new server, there should be plenty of room right on the coast here. All right, perfect.
Let's set
now,
up territory.
where I am, right here, there is a Beaver deviation right on the shore here. You should be able to pick that up. He might escape. Just try again. Now you've got yourself a logging beaver. How wonderful. All right, you're just gonna want to put your territory down. Okay, the first thing you're gonna do when you get here, put that beaver in there. That way, immediately, right in the beginning of the game, this thing is gonna go out and it's gonna gather logs for you while you're not here. After you do this, you're gonna open up your mimetic menu. We're gonna unlock the smelting essentials. We're gonna unlock the disassembly techniques.
Even with mimetics.
And we're just going to go ahead and grab our copper pickaxe right away. What you're also going to want to do right away, just go over to crafting and just unlock the essential tools right away. Alright, it's telling you that you need to gather gravel. That can wait for a minute. We're going to go and kill some deer just so we have a copper pickaxe, like, right away. Rawhide is pretty useful for a lot of other stuff too, so it couldn't hurt to gather more rawhide than what you need. Basically, if you ever see a deer or other animals later on, kill them, because they're gonna give you that rawhide, guys. Now, you really only need 2 rawhide for that copper pickaxe, but like I said, it's gonna come in handy way later. Okay, so now we're gonna gather our quote-unquote gravel, but we're gonna get it from the copper ore, remember, because that way you're getting 2 essential resources at once. You don't get as much gravel from the copper ore, but it kinda doesn't matter, and copper ore is more important anyway. You can never have too much of this stuff in the beginning of the game. Okay, once you have the resources, it's telling you to gather, come back to your base. The first thing you're gonna do is build your furnace. We're also gonna build our supplies workbench right away. Okay, guys, a big part of this guide is to get you to the electric furnace pretty much as fast as possible, because it is a little bit of a pain. Anytime you want to craft something on this furnace, you also need charcoal to do it with the electric furnace. All you have to do is throw your resources in, and it's gonna just make it without any charcoal necessary. While you're crafting that charcoal, you're gonna go ahead and just gather some more resources. You don't ever really want to be just standing around while that thing is crafting. Okay, we're gonna grab some charcoal. We're also gonna just make some copper ingots right away. This is to get us that copper pickaxe pretty much immediately. This guy already found you 12 logs. So if we go into our mimetic's cradle, one of the goals right now is just to get this bronze pickaxe immediately. What we're gonna do, we're gonna come over here and we're gonna craft our copper pickaxe. all those journey completes, you're going to want to go ahead and claim those because you get rewards for doing all this. Yeah, so we're going to go to Craftsman. You see over here, it gives you 50 XP, 30 energy links. This gives you 50 and another 30, 50 and another 30. So you're getting 150 XP and 90 energy links just from doing what you were going to do anyways. You can claim some more of this stuff. You're also going to come over here to the season rewards and like the battle pass and stuff like that. Right now, all we can get is the Stardust Corn Ale, but this is basically the best beverage in the game. So awesome. Make sure you remove the crude pickaxe from your quick bar. Alright, so you've got yourself a copper pickaxe. What are you going to do next? I'll tell you. You're going to go right across the water over here, and you're going to get tin, because the copper pickaxe allows you to gather tin. Why do we want tin? Because it allows you to craft a bronze pickaxe right away. And we also got a Digby boy. The better your pickaxe is, the more resources you gather from each swing. So basically, you want to craft a copper pickaxe just to cross that river there and gather tin ore so you can craft your bronze pickaxe right away. We're going to craft some glass. We're going to craft some more charcoal. While that's going, once again, go gather more resources, guys. It might take a minute, but you're going to need this stuff for the time being. Already level 4. We haven't even really done anything, and we're already level 4. We've got our charcoal. We've got our glass. Now you want to make some of those bronze ingots. Let's go ahead and make around 10 of them. We're going to go ahead and unlock our bronze pickaxe. You're also going to want to make sure you have enough resources to craft another isolated securement unit. When you mine your first tin ore, it just gives you a free Digby boy for doing it. So throw him in there. And now you have this guy mining ore for you, and this guy getting logs for you. Now we're going to craft ourselves that bronze pickaxe. Go ahead and remove the copper pickaxe. If you remember, we were getting 4 copper ore per swing. Now we're getting 8. Doubling your yield. You essentially just want to get the copper pickaxe so you can cross the river to collect tin ore to get yourself a bronze pickaxe as soon as possible. You get so many more resources for having that bronze. Okay, the story quest is telling you to build a disassembly bench, so just go ahead and do that right away.
Nice.
What you can do immediately is just scrap your crude pickaxe and your copper because you don't need them anymore. We're going to claim some more of our journey rewards. Okay, we're going to make our way to the next marker. Once you get to this general area, you're going to loot all the chests that you see. You're going to loot all the materials that you see. That's really going to come in handy later. If you hit Q on mouse and keyboard or left bumper on controller, it highlights all the items for you. So if there's something you don't see, you'll be able to see it once you do that. There is another chest in here. So here, there's more materials. There is another supply crate. Is there anything else in here? There is not. Okay, we're gonna loot this last crate. Before you go and talk to Mary, do you guys see this little purple glowy thing in here? You're gonna wanna go and interact with that. Just like walk into it. It's gonna move to up there. Once you interact with that, it's gonna pop up a mystical crate right here. Go ahead and loot that too. You get some decent stuff from these. You also get another season goal completed. If you like or dislike any whisper message, that'll automatically give you a season goal completed as well. So you can go ahead and claim these rewards, the Mimetic Cleanser, the Star Crom, and the Meme Points. You get 10 of them. Just go ahead and talk to Mary. So we're going to teleport back to our base. Go ahead and disassemble whatever you might have collected. That gives you a decent amount of stuff. You're going to need that stuff to make other stuff later. So yeah. So if you notice, this Digby boy's not really active. He's not in the greatest mood. A good way to boost his mood is to build a radio near him. In order to do that, you're going to need to unlock more memetics. Building, wooden support, wooden doors and windows, basic furniture 1, basic furniture 2. This is what's going to allow you to craft that radio. So we're going to unlock our gear workbench memetic, because it's telling us to, and our ammunition. Go back to your journey. And you're just gonna go ahead and claim everything you can. The game is now gonna ask you to craft a gear workbench.
Great, we can use that blueprint to make both guns and ammo.
So it is telling you to craft any type of weapon. That's kind of not true, because we're still going for melee right now. You do want the baseball bat. So you noticed I just hit level 5. We're going to go over to our memetics cradle, and we're going to unlock our first memetic specialization. These are all randomized. Some are really good, some aren't that good, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at what we got. We have careful disassembly, which is disassembly benches yield 30% extra when disassembling parts, fabrics, and plastic. Gear workbench. Weapons and armor crafted using the gear workbench enjoy 30% max durability. These are two very good specializations. I wish they wouldn't have been in the same one because I'm gonna have to pick one. Don't really care about this one for the time being. And this, for me, is useless. Robotics facility increases the durability of traps and rifle turret type facilities by 50%. I'm not saying it's useless. I'm just saying for now, I'm not ever going to touch it. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say we need 30% more stuff when disassembling. That 30% extra durability would be nice, but you can always repair it, and this is going to allow you to do that more efficiently. Guys, I just want to throw this out here. It's not the end of the world if you don't get good ones, or if you get 2 good ones and you have to pick. To my understanding, you're able to re-roll one of these a week. So, yeah. Now, this is what I was saying. We do want to craft ourselves a baseball bat. If you're not level 10, even if you have the materials, which, as you can see, I do, you're not going to be able to use this right now. So you don't want to craft a tier 2 just yet. Just go ahead and craft yourself that tier 1 baseball bat. You see how it didn't check the box? That's because we crafted a baseball bat, I guess, and not a firearm. That's the only explanation I can give you. It's giving us the option to unlock memetic basic gear, so we're going to do that. So we're going to come over here, and we're just going to craft ourselves the shotgun.
If you want to make ammo, though, you'll need to do it at a synthesis bench.
We're going to go ahead and craft some shotgun bullets. It's telling us to unlock memetic storage expansion. We can just go ahead and do that. I'm not going to craft a storage container right now just because I don't need to store anything. So this part is totally optional, but I want to buff these a little bit before I head out. You can do that by calibration. It'll increase the damage the first time from 162 to 178, then 178 to 194. When it starts asking for stardust sources, it's up to you if you want to do this or not. We're not going to go ahead and do that right now. There's no reason. We're already kind of OP. We're going to do the same thing with the shotgun. We're just going to calibrate that to level 2. Now we're already doing way more damage, and we haven't even left our base yet. Okay, so we're being prompted to head to Deadsville. We're going to do that in 1 second. Before you leave, just make sure that you have enough materials to craft 2 more of those securement facilities, because you're going to be needing them. We're going to end up picking up a Digby boy and another Beaver. So we're going to have 2 of each when we get back. We're going to open up the map, and you're going to go to Deadsville. The first thing you're going to do when you get here is talk to Mary. That's going to unlock the bike for you. While you're in town, we're going to talk to everybody. So yeah, after you talk to Mary, and then Claire, and then Lo, you come back and talk to Mary. That's going to unlock the bike for you. Make sure to investigate your teleportation tower. Come back over here and talk to Lo. He's going to give you a quest for another Digby boy. Yeah, this is the one that you're going to want to accept. So now we have the bike unlocked. What you've also unlocked is commissions. You can unlock these by either talking to Larry, or you can summon V, interact with him, and you can open the commissions from there as well. You can choose whatever you think is going to be easiest for you. You can open 4 storage crates in any stronghold, take all the items within, gather ore 100 times. We're definitely going to smelt 50 ingots, for sure. I take a little bit of damage when I go to these strongholds. We do a lot of damage, but these guys hit us too. So we can use any activator 5 times. Log 100 times because you're always going to be gathering resources anyway. Gather ore 100 times. You get experience just from doing this. Yeah, you see this? 1330 XP, 2000 energy links, and 4 controllers for each one of these tasks that you complete. You remember that part about the beaver, the additional beaver that we're going to be getting? Here's how we're going to do that. We're going to switch to another world at this teleportation tower. You can pick one, just pick a random one. It doesn't really matter. I want to remember what world I'm in. I'm just going to go to, let's say, world 11. I'm going to switch. All right. If you guys have noticed, this is where my base would normally be. It's not there in this world, but do you know what is still here? Another beaver deviant. So we're gonna pick this guy up. I'm just gonna come back over and switch to the world that I was in. You can switch to other worlds. There might be even more beaver deviations in that exact spot. That's up to you. We're gonna leave Deadsville. We're gonna go to Thoroughville, and we're gonna find the second Digby boy that we're gonna put in our base. Just make sure that you have more than 30 copper ore, because you're gonna need to offer them to him in order for them to come with you. Oh yeah, I've got about 500, 600 almost. I think I have enough. The Digby boy is right in that location. Just make sure that this is the quest you're tracking, and that blue quest marker will lead you right to him. Make sure to loot as often as you possibly can. There's a lot of good stuff in these storage containers just laying around. It's going to give you all the materials that you need for everything you need in the future. Our Digby boy is up there. Let's get what's in this trash can here. When you start to get close to him, he'll actually tell you how hungry he is and that he wants ore. Just follow the voice. Keep going up these stairs. All right, here's your Digby boy. Interact. You just give him those 30 copper ore. And you get another Digby boy for your collection. So if you see, there is a bunch of loot over here. I believe that is that is either the weapon or armor crate. There's another one over here. There's several goodies in this town. You want to take all of it. So from here, we're just going to walk across this little bridge. Open up another storage crate. Here is one of your weapons crates. There's your mystical crate. I believe the last one is right over here. This is your second weapons crate. And the rift anchor usually isn't too hard to find in any of these areas because there's going to be a glowing beam from the structure. So just look for that, and it's pretty simple to find. Activate the rift anchor, and this area is complete. You get a bunch of juicy bonuses from doing that. you also have your other Digby boy. Okay, now that we're done with Thoroughville, we're gonna head into a higher tier area. So this is Greywater Camp, the refinery pollution point right here. It's north of where we are. You're gonna wanna be somewhere right in the middle of those two things. I will skip this for your sake. I wish I could skip it for mine too. I'll see you there. Not quite there yet, but I want to let you know, once you start getting into this new area, you're going to be running into iron ore now. Just go ahead and mine that. If you see any of it, pick it up because you're going to need a lot of it. That is all. I'll see you there. All right, here we are. So you're going to want to build your base just anywhere in this general vicinity. If you look a little bit over, we have iron ore, we have saffron, which is going to be used for energy drinks later. Plenty of copper ore, more iron. There is plenty of resources around here. We have some tin nodes. So yeah, go ahead and just build your base. To relocate your base, on mouse and keyboard, you're going to hit B to open up your build menu, and then you're going to hit Z. That's just going to move everything you had in your last location to your new location. Since the update, which allows you to use a controller, I haven't quite figured that out yet. Anybody in the comment want to let me know? I'd really appreciate it. What you're gonna do now, that's why I was having you craft the materials for it. You're gonna go to your build menu and you're gonna craft 2 more of these isolated securement units. You are gonna deposit your other Beaver and you're gonna deposit your other Digby boy. Now you've got these guys mining and logging for you. Now that we're here, we might as well get ourselves a steel pickaxe and start working on that electric furnace I was talking about earlier. So you're going to go into your memetics cradle. You're going to unlock your forging techniques. You're going to unlock that steel pickaxe. And you are going to unlock your electro refining. For the electric furnace, you're going to need 35 steel ingots, 15 copper ingots, 5 electronic parts, and 10 standard parts. All of this stuff you can get from this area, but we're not going to get it from this area. I'll show you where you get that. You're in a higher level area, so you're going to need a little bit better gear. We're also going to work on that. This is your intermediate tools right here. So HP recovery 1, intermediate tools. All you need is bronze ingot and those standard parts. We're going to be getting those. While we're here, we're just going to build a storage crate and a bed. I'm going to show you where to get the materials for the radio, the electric furnace, all that good stuff. They're going to have all the materials that you're going to need to make this stuff. In order to do that, we're going to fast travel back down to Deadsville. Once you get out of here, you can track it if you'd like, and you're going to head over this little bridge. Okay, the main goal of this is basically just to gather the materials that we need to make our radio, our electric furnace, things like that. So just loot the hell out of this place. Anything you see at all, pick it up. Take a little bit of time in this area just to make sure that you don't really miss anything. I also just want to throw this out here. Since the beginning of the game, basically, aside from calibrating our gear right away, we haven't had much difficulty with these enemies. They're still getting killed in 1 or 2 hits. Yes, we might be taking a little bit of damage, but that's what the activators are for. The entire focus of this guide basically is to get you into the tier 3 area, and you don't really have to worry about enemies too much, so you can focus on progressing the story, the season goals, gathering all the resources for the wish machine, you know, that star crom, things like that. Okay, so in this building here, we have our weapons crate. Now, this is the elite boss for this area. He looks tough. He's really not. Just stay out of his way when he does that attack, and you should be fine. Those look tough. They're not. Yeah, like I said, go through, grab everything. I'll show you where the mystical crate is, too. There's this big central building with the elevator. There's a little silo-looking thing next to it. It took me a second on my first playthrough to find this. There's an elevator, so you just call it down. If it's not down, you just call it. Here is your mystical crate. This is the Mother of Life. That was the Mother of Life. There is also another storage crate up here. You don't want to miss anything. Beautiful. Now we got some mods. Also, if you guys want to head up towards this ramp right here, there's another one of those hidden chests. All you have to do is interact with it, snap your finger, and it'll reveal itself. Loot that as well. You don't want to have to keep going back and forth from location to location because you didn't loot enough materials. Take your time with this one. If it takes you a little bit longer just to get more materials, that's perfectly fine. You're never gonna need less materials, so... That guy went down pretty easy. Whenever you are done with this area, you think you have enough materials, you'll notice you can't actually activate this rift anchor yet. It's just not possible right now. You have to complete story quests before you can even do that. So yeah, no access to rift anchor. You'll be able to do that later, but you've got most of the goals taken care of, so all you have to do is come back here and activate it. Okay, so now we have all the materials that we need for the intermediate supplies workbench. You can go ahead and demolish the first one, and you have the next one. So we're gonna go from bronze to our steel pickaxe. So we have our steel pickaxe. What are we gonna do next? We're gonna go in our backpack. We're going to remove the bronze pickaxe because we're not gonna need it anymore. We're gonna throw the steel pickaxe in. Now we want to keep these guys powered. That's the radio that I was telling you guys about. We're just gonna go ahead and make one of those right away. Also, it is getting a little cramped in here, so we're just gonna put down some more foundations. We're gonna expand our territory a little bit. Make sure not to build over any nodes or anything like that. This should make it a little less cramped in here. What do you guys think? We are now level 10. We have the privilege of being able to use tier 2 gear now. How wonderful. We also unlocked a new meme specialization. I'm gonna move some of this stuff around now that I have all this extra room for activities. 22 wood. 20 iron. 48 wood. 10 iron. All of these are free resources. Now we're gonna craft our radio. So we've got copper ingots cooking. We've got our deviants tucked off in this corner here. You're gonna go to your build menu. We're gonna enclose these guys. It's a tight squeeze, but they'll be fine. Add a ceiling. You're gonna go over to furniture, lighting, and add these circular red lights. Now, that should give your deviants a little bit more power. The last piece of this puzzle, before you're set on everything, you are gonna wanna go and build the electric furnace. In order for the electric furnace, though, you need power. You see, you can craft your copper ingots and your glass. We just need 4 refined parts and 4 fireproof plastic. Not difficult at all to get. And you craft 3 fuses on the supplies workbench. Now, because we are level 10, we can now craft our tier 2 gear. This baseball bat, tier 2, we're gonna make this. We're also gonna make our tier 2 shotgun. All we're missing is bronze ingots. That's not terrible. Now you see with that steel pickaxe, we're getting way more resources than we were before. That's the whole point of doing this. We're gonna check our meme specializations just to see what we have. We don't care about reducing the weight of gravel. Throwing dagger gets 30% damage, doubles the shelf life of dishes you cook yourself. Deluxe storage crate. I truly don't care about any of this, but I would say Star Chef. It's the least useless one. Out of all of them, we're gonna craft ourselves the tier 2 shotgun. Now, as always, we're just gonna calibrate this right away. If you don't have enough materials, just hang around here for a little bit and gather more. The last couple pieces that we need are in a pretty high level area. Even though we're not gonna be like fighting enemies, there's still a good chance that you might hurt yourself a little bit. You can also upgrade the gear that you're wearing. So we have the rustic gloves and the rustic hat. This is giving us our bonus damage. We're just gonna make the tier 2 rustic hat. We're gonna equip that. We're gonna make the tier 2 rustic gloves. And we're also going to go ahead and calibrate those right away. That'll give you more HP. It's more important that you calibrate your weapons, honestly. As long as you're dealing a bunch of damage, you're not going to have to worry about the enemies too much. We're dealing way more damage than we were. Now, we're going to throw just some more stuff in the furnace to cook while we're out and about. I'm just going to turn around. This is your refinery pollution point. This is where you're going to gather the rest of your materials. Try to stay moving. It's not going to be the hardest thing in the world, but these enemies do pack a punch. You're level 11. They're in like the level 20s-ish. So this is not completing the area or anything like that. You just want to gather materials. You want to get what you need and you want to get out pretty much immediately if you can. You're still one-shotting these enemies, but they can hit you pretty hard too, and those drill boys are pretty nasty if they see you. Like I said, just run around, see what you can find in here. Don't stick around for too long. We're hoping to just find what we need and get the hell out of here.
Any enclosed areas that you see, buildings, etc., are going to be really good spots to look for these extra materials, guys.
I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say that that should be enough for everything that we need. We just got a bunch of stuff, so let's go back to the base and see what we got. Now, I did completely forget about this until now. But I just want to tell you so you don't make the same mistake that I just did. That meme specialization, where you get 30% extra when disassembling parts, fabrics, and plastic, that does not take effect unless you already, like, disassemble the disassembler that you already assembled. So we're just going to rebuild that, and that'll give us our bonus. We're going to go back. You see this one is enhanced. The other one was not. We're going to disassemble all this stuff. Fireproof plastic, standard parts. That's basically all we were looking for. Also refined parts. We just got everything that we need. You're going to want to unlock your solar generator. You're going to go into your build menu. You're going to go over to power facilities. All we're missing is 3 fuses. You can craft it on a supplies workbench. All we need is 3. I'm going to go back into our build menu. Our electric furnace. We can also now craft that. Doesn't really matter where you put it, but it needs electricity.
You're gonna go back to your supply workbench and pick up those 3 fuses you crafted earlier.
We now have everything we need. Power facility, and you're gonna build a solar generator. You're gonna attach a wire. Oh shit. So we're gonna go into our build menu. We're gonna construct a power facility.
you're going to attach the wire, and you're going to attach the wire. And that's it. You can go over and just demolish your regular furnace because you're not going to need it anymore. And you don't have to craft charcoal anymore. You totally can. But you see, like, you go to bronze ingot, charcoal is completely out of the equation because the heat source is electricity. Whatever you want to do, you now have basically infinite resources and you're refining them exponentially faster. If you want glass, whatever you need, it's all right there. Okay, so there you have it. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more to do. But this is a great start for a really good AFK base, and it's going to allow you to just go out, knock out all those story missions, kill all those bosses. Let's also just talk about the fact that I'm in the tier 3 zone, and you guys just watched me take out those enemies still with 1 melee hit. Do you really think that those bosses from the earlier parts of the game stand any type of chance against you right now? I think not. If you follow along with the video, I'm going to go ahead and say, like I said at the beginning, it should take you on average around an hour and a half to about 2.5 hours to get where I am. Thank you so much for watching, guys. As always, if you enjoyed the video, if it helped you out in any way, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss any of my content. At the time of publishing this video, I have 115 subscribers. I want to thank each and every one of you because I can't do this shit without you guys. It's not MeTube, you know? If there's something you want to see, drop me a comment. I'll try to make that happen. I have noticed that less than 5% of you are subscribing to the channel. I just want to say this video, between recording and editing, this video alone took me about 10 hours to make. I just want you to keep that in mind. I do it all for you guys. Until next time, just remember, you don't have to be good to have a good time. Peace.